There's nothing I like covering more than your average chuddy gamer bro. So that's what we're going to do now. The thumbnail of this video was fucking cringe as fuck. But the channel is called Easy Swish Sniper. Never watched this guy before. He seems to be sort of like Optimus or Leafy or whatever. It's called Crazy Feminist Wants to Ban the Word Guys, and Weirdo Sends Me Hilarious Emails. So apparently it's two segments in one. The person who sent me this video said the beginning is the crazy guy sending him an email, and the second half is the is like the crazy feminist thing. So we're going to go to the crazy feminist part, I guess, and we're going to go ahead and respond to that. Can we turn this up to 1080p, by the way? No, I can't. Well, hey, we'll have some Uncharted 4 gameplay in the background, so that'll be nice.
Money like that, that's when I drop your email in the trash and laugh at you. Alright guys, so today's feminist, she's not like the others. She doesn't have pink hair and she's not built like Humpty Dumpty. But as they say, don't judge a book by its cover. She looks like, you know, your average female that you might see when you're grocery shopping. But in terms of the utter delusion, she is far worse.
God, what is it about watching these like gamer bro types and how like Optimus does this, Birdman does this, like every gamer boy who makes this type of video, like this exact format, always says female instead of woman. It's so weird. I maybe it's like the like pseudo incel shit that the gaming community is rife with. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know, like I play video games and I don't say female like this. I'm like, it's not gaming. Gaming doesn't make you like an incel or whatever. I don't know what it is about these people. Like, it's always like the biggest tell for me whenever they refer to women as females. You know? It's just one step away from femoid. Yeah, it's pretty close to saying femoid instead of female, yeah.
Than any of the BuzzFeed feminists we've seen. Somehow, some way, she's managed to make a video that is more idiotic than the man-spreading video, more idiotic than the men in the workplace video, and more idiotic than even the mansplaining video. Today, Foluke Tuakli explains to us why you aren't allowed to use the word guys anymore because apparently it's one of the most offensive words in the English language.
Hey guys, welcome back to...
Okay, really quickly. I've covered this video before, or I've recovered a response to this video before. I believe this is the video that, what was his name? Combat Wombat responded to in an equally very dumb video. And then he refused to, and then he made a response video to me and refused to debate me on it. He just seemed really hurt that I was mean in the video. It was kind of sad watching his response because he just seemed like his feelings were really hurt by me being so mean in my response. So listen, Mr. Easy Swish Sniper, I'm going to be as nice as I can possibly be, okay? But if you make me cringe too much, I might be a little bit mean. But if you want to come on and talk about it, okay? We can do that. We can hook up on Discord. I'll bring you on, and we can talk about it if you see this video. But with that said, listen, this video is pretty cringe. I've watched it before. Unironically, this video is pretty cringe. Now, don't get me wrong. How do I explain this, okay? So, this is kind of lib shit, I'll admit, but I don't really see a problem in taking a more nuanced academic analysis of the words that we use and how they may inform particular biases or opinions that we hold about the world. I don't think that's like a problem, right? Why do we say guys to refer to multiple people? Well, it's because most likely throughout history, we've typically associated humanity or mankind with men. And so you say guys. Do I think it's a problem? Not really. I really don't think it's an issue. And I don't think this video was claiming that either. I don't think it was saying we need to stop saying guys. If I remember correctly, it could. But like, I think it was more of like analyzing why we say, hey guys, when typically guys refers to guys, men. Dudes, fucking big schlong havers, aka, well, those that have a big schlong and like having a big schlong and identify with having a big schlong. That's typically what it refers to. I don't think there's harm in like analyzing why this is in our language and where that came from. But it does trigger these kinds of people, so.
Now this. Guys is a simple term. It could mean boys, or if you're modern, hip, it means people.
On Tuesday, my 70-year-old boomer professor, she is technologically illiterate, far from modern or hip, addressed the entire class, which has a mix of boys and girls, as guys. This isn't some modern or hip term like simp that only younger people tend to know. Don't lie, because I'm gonna make a fool out of you.
At first,
Oh God. Guys, I didn't I said I wasn't going to be mean, but this guy is very, very, he's already making me cringe. He's already setting off my cringe alarms. My cringe detector is going off like crazy right now. So this is something that's very annoying to me when it comes to response videos, is when they have to respond to something, okay? You'll notice that when I respond to a video and I agree with a point or there's nothing to respond to at the point, I won't pause it and talk about anything. I'll just let the video play till I hear an argument I disagree with. There was literally nothing there that was disagreeable. She just said, if you're younger and more hip, then you might refer to guys as a group of people. And he responds angrily saying, no, I heard my professor, who's old and barely technologically literate, say guys the other day, if you want to get me on this one, I will destroy you. Like, bro, fucking chill. We're like, what do you, dude, we're just like, hold on. This is like the opening statement. There's nothing objectionable about that statement whatsoever. Come on, dude, calm the fuck down.
glance, guys seems inviting, friendly, maybe warm, even comedic at times. But it, like many male default terms, should not be normalized as an all-encompassing phrase, innocent as it may seem.
What the hell is a male default term? Let me quickly look it up on Wikipedia and let's learn it together. It's all about collaboration.
Is it, wait, hold on. Is my brain too big? I feel like even as back when I was like an anti-SJW type, I probably would have understood what that meant. Holy shit, my stomach is rumbling like crazy. I feel like even then I would have understand what it meant. It pretty obviously means male default terms. You have male in it, so like, okay, male identifying default terms. You've got male, then identifying, so you're identifying somebody. It's a default term, so it's something that you typically use a lot, a default term, right? So a male identifying default term. Considering we're talking about guys, the term guys, I feel like we can sort of put these to the context as well as the words that are being used together to sort of get a strong understanding of what she's referring to. I don't think you need to use Wikipedia to understand what this is.
Collaborative learning on this channel. So in feminist theory, the principle of male as norm holds that language referring to females, such as the suffix ess, the use of man to mean human, and other such devices, strengthens the perceptions that the male category is the norm and that the corresponding female category is a derivation and thus less important. That was just a bunch of fancy gobbledygook crap to say that words with man in it, like human or mankind, or even cities like Manhattan or Manchester.
Okay, so oh Jesus. So you'll notice how they have to, this is something I notice a lot about these people, right? So let's say they have like a preconceived notion about what feminists and progressive people are like, right? And so whenever they put forward a position, or they come across a position that is academic and this doesn't fit into their stereotypes, what they believe I guess a feminist or a progressive person is supposed to be, they have to sort of like muddy the water by saying, oh, that's just fancy gobbledygook. It's not fancy gobbledygook. It's an academic analysis of language. That's all it is. It's just an academic analysis of language. If you're too dumb to understand it, then that's fine. But like, don't try to stampede academic analysis. I'm not like all that academic of a person. Obviously, I get my opinions from studies and I do research on things, but like, I'm not like an academic in the sense that I'm not like an intellectual, right? I don't go out and collect data and synthesize the data and write studies or anything like that. I read the studies. I go off of what the experts come to the conclusion of through peer review and the information of data and the gathering of truth in the world. That's what I do, right? But I guess thinking is too hard for this guy, or he doesn't even have to think. Like, the experts do the thinking for you. That's, like, you don't even have to think about that.
Chester. Apparently, these words are sexist according to the feminists. When a girl gets her nails done, we call that a manicure, so I guess even that word is bad. Feminist.
Notice how they haven't once said that it's sexist to use the term guys. Have you noticed that? You guys can correct me on this, but I don't recall hearing at any point the woman in the video or even the Wikipedia article that she read saying it was sexist to use the word guys. I've never heard any feminists say that, actually. Not even like the most like liberal, I guess, cringy feminists. I've never heard them say that. All they said was that it supports a sort of preconceived bias that people may have about like men being the norm while being a woman is like the I guess like the like unusual or not the norm. It's literally all it is. Yes, this is a straw man.
Feminist theory is just a fake subject that these people made up to feel important and to think that they're actually doing something with their lives, but we'll just let them live in their—
Wow, this is like legitimately just anti-intellectualism. Ah, yes, feminist theory is made up and is just used to make people feel like their lives matter or they're doing something that's important. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to argue with somebody who doesn't give like a single fuck about like academia. Yeah, academia is made up. But here's the problem. It starts out with saying something like feminist theory is just made up and doesn't really matter. But then it gets to the point where you start thinking things like climate change is made up. Because, wait, if feminist theory is garbage, then what about climate? What about the study of climate and weather? Wouldn't that be garbage as well? Made up garbage? What about the study of physics? Oh, I guess now gravity isn't real. So there you go. It basically goes around the whole way. I wonder if this guy's a flat earther, if he disagrees with academia so much.
Their little fairy tale and make fun of them from the outside.
While we may understand the word means no real harm, with a deeper look, you'll understand that we've been ignoring the cognitive impact on women as well as gender non-conforming folks.
Ooh, prepare yourselves for some cringe here. His response to the gender non-conforming folks thing is going to be really bad. Oh, fuck.
By only explicitly addressing the male identifying individuals present.
My sister is halfway there to becoming an SJW and she hates my channel, but even she said that this video was stupid. No normal
My sister is almost an SJW, and she hates my I don't know why, but like I just kind of feel like it's weird that he just like brought up his sister and it was like my sister's a fucking SJW. I don't know why. I just found that funny.
mature woman should be getting offended if she's in a group of people and someone says, "Hey guys," to them. If a woman or a gender non-conforming person has some quote-unquote cognitive impact because
I feel like if I brought this guy on to debate, he would concede every argument. Do you have, I can't be, also I'm going to speed this video up a little bit because he talks very slowly. Am I the only one that feels like if I brought him on, he would, like, he probably doesn't actually, like, hate, he's probably thinks that he's, like, left-leaning, but, like, he probably thinks he's, like, a George Carlin liberal or something like that. And probably just, he probably doesn't think he's actually bigoted in any way. I feel like he would concede every argument if I worded it differently than the Now This video did. I've had a lot of conversations that go that way. This seems to be this generally seems to be the consensus among like, or not consensus, but what generally ends up happening whenever I talk to people that do this kind of content, where they're like vaguely reactionary, but haven't really bought all the way into it. Because they don't realize how wrong their opinions are. They just hear something that sounds a little bit cringy because they don't understand what it means, and then they get mad about it.
I said the word guy, then that's their problem, and I don't care. They're not special enough to where I have to single them out and recognize them, and they're not even proposing a solution. What do you want me to say instead? Hey guys and girl, or hey everyone?
Wait, at the end, I remember this video. They literally recommend a solution at the end. Wait, is he watching this video? I'm watching this video. I'm live streaming. I'm watching this video live, never having seen it before. I'm hearing these arguments. Well, I'm not hearing the arguments for the first time. I've heard these arguments a million times, but not from this guy. I'm watching this video for the first time ever. Okay? is he watching this video that he's responding to for the first time as he does the commentary, or what? Because at the end of the video, they go over alternatives to using the word guys. They do. I've watched the video before. I've seen someone else respond to it. I watched Combat Wombat respond to it. I know I think it's like crew, people, like they give a few examples of words you could use otherwise. I think the main argument that the lady in the video is trying to make is that there's sort of a linguistic implication that when you come into a room with a group of men and women and you say, hey guys, there's sort of this implication that you're referring to the guys and sort of leaving out the women. Is it a valid argument? Not really. I think the vast majority of people, when they say, hey guys, probably don't mean it that way. And I imagine most women who hear it probably don't even feel that way. But I don't really see a problem with getting super angry about people talking about the implications of these words. I really just don't see why you would get mad about something like this. Yeah, like y'all, people, folks, yeah.
No, I'm gonna say hey guys because it's succinct and to the point.
The meaning of guys has changed over time. According to the Washington Post, etymologists believe it began in the 17th century with a guy named Guy Fawkes, a participant in the failed 1605 gunpowder plot. He only barely escaped a brutal execution by jumping off a scaffold and breaking his neck. For the next few centuries, those who likened him in fashion, appearance, or intellect were referred to as guys. Eventually, according to the Boston Globe, the term broadened to describe creepy people. Notice
how in this video, she's going over like studies and like citing like not academic but well-respected outlets to talk about the history of the term, and this guy is just like bitching about how this person's like an SJW or whatever. You'll notice this is generally the tendency among like left-leaning content and more right-leaning content. When it comes to right-leaning content, it's just whining and bitching, but when it comes to left-leaning content, it's more academic. Like they're actually trying to talk about something and make the world a better place.
Then to a generic term for men, and now, some would say, a gender-neutral phrase.
Raise your hand if you asked for this dumb fucking history lesson. Exactly, nobody asked, and again, nobody cares. She also said, quote-unquote, some would say a gender-neutral phrase.
Why is he so mad? Why is this dude... This dude's a snowflake. Unironically, this guy's a fucking snowflake. He's so angry about this. Nobody asked for your fucking history. Like, chill the fuck out, my dude. Jesus Christ. Yeah, also, you're the one watching the video. Like, now this has a lot of subscribers. It's a pretty big channel, and they're definitely on the more progressive-leaning side, absolutely. Clearly, they have their audience. Those are the people that, I guess, asked for the video or enjoyed the video. Like, I'm sorry that she's making a video trying to educate people on the history of the term guys and her opinion on the implications of its usage and language. Like, I thought you guys were about free speech. Like, you gamer bro reactionary types. Aren't you guys in favor of free speech? Why doesn't she have the freedom of speech to say what she wants, right? This is literal snowflake shit.
Why is she saying some? It seems to me like the person who wants to educate us on word usage doesn't seem to know the difference between some and most. So let me correct her. Most people would say that guys is a gender-neutral phrase.
How is one to feel
that's unbelievably pedantic.
Empowered to speak or assert themselves when upon greeting they're misgendered or even ignored in language?
I didn't know that if I said the word guys, that would magically stop a woman from talking and that I would be disenfranchising her. Not one girl in my entire life, even the feminist ones, has gotten upset at me for referring to them as a dude or saying the word guy in their vicinity. It's not like I'm telling them to shut their mouth and not talk, because that's what this lady is implying the word guy does.
I don't think that's what she said. Like, it's weird. Are we watching different videos right now? It's so weird. It's like this guy has the straw man of what like a progressive feminist is supposed to be in his head, and if a feminist doesn't meet that expectation, then his brain breaks. And I think what's happening right now is when he turns on the video, he's blacking out. He passes out like, and he starts dreaming a different video. He's actually like, his brain is creating a completely different video than the one that he's actually watching. That's what's happening right now in his head. It has to be. It's like we're not even watching the same video right now.
It can have multiple meanings. It's called a homonym. Just like how the word rock refers to the music genre and also refers to a stone, she's straight up spreading misinformation and a false narrative when she says that we're ignoring non-males by using the word guys. This lady is straight up uneducated.
These linguistic tendencies were developed and reinforced in...
But, my dude, she literally cited the historic... Hold on. Oh, okay, hold on. I'm triggered. I'm actually triggered libtard right now. Oh, hold on. Listen. Okay? She literally gave an academic assessment of the word, talked about the history of the word's origins, and then he said, fuck off with your SJW made-up history lesson, and then he says, you're uneducated. You literally argued against the concept of intellectualism and academia like 10 seconds ago, my guy. What the fuck are you talking about? Mind blown. This is the angriest gamer bro I've ever covered. Usually the gamer bro types like this try to keep like a cool demeanor when they respond to a video. This guy seems like actually angry. I think that'll be the title of this video. The angriest anti-feminist gamer bro I've ever seen, or something like that.
Eras where women were barely meant to be seen and certainly not heard.
Are we living in the 1600s where women weren't allowed to vote, where women couldn't own land? If you claim to be as oppressed as...
I like how he says this lady's uneducated, but then says it was the 1600s when women weren't allowed to vote or whatever. You do realize that women weren't allowed to vote up until the 1800s, and they weren't allowed to work really up until like the like literally 100 years ago. Like, why are you going back that far? You realize it wasn't just like 400, 300 years ago when they were dealing with this shit. It was like decades ago. And then if you wanted to get really bad, like a century ago. Yeah, wait, it was only 1920 that it was federally legalized? Wait, really? It was the 1920s? Wait, hold on. Hold on. I know, I type like a boomer. Don't make fun of me for it, or I'll ban you in a video game. Oh, there it is. 1920, winning the vote at last. Congress signs the 19th Amendment into law, which granted American women the right to vote, a right known as women's suffrage, in 1920, exactly 100 years ago. So we gave women the bare minimum of the right to vote, something that we consider every American citizen should have the right to do 100 years ago. Now, I know that if you're like really young or stupid, 100 years ago sounds like a super long time ago, but that's really not that long. You realize there are people alive right now that couldn't vote. There are people who are over 100 years old alive right now that weren't allowed to, that were alive when women couldn't vote. They're literally still around. Yeah, there are people alive right now that were barred from voting. Women. Holy shit, that's younger than the college I went to. Yeah, there's a chance that like some of the houses you may live in, if it's an older home, that your house is older than women's right to vote in America. Like, we don't need to go back to the 1600s. We can go back to the early 1900s.
You are, then you wouldn't even be employed by a large media company and you wouldn't be making $70,000 a year. Instead, you would be at home fixing your husband a steak dinner. I feel like people like this are ungrateful. They want something to complain about, which is why you see these types of videos being made. It's deadass the only explanation I can come up with.
There are...
Yes, stealing shoe on head's word, deadass. So because things aren't as bad as they used to be, we shouldn't be allowed to strive for making things better than they are now. Very good argument. You know, hey, listen, those people, the black people complaining about segregation back in the 1950s and 60s, hey, at least they weren't slaves anymore. They weren't, hey, slavery ended, so why are you complaining about segregation? You just want something to complain about. You're not enslaved. Why are you complaining about this? You're not enslaved anymore. Why are you why do you want the, what? Segregation? What, do you just want something to complain about?
larger issues that we, the feminists, need to combat. Reproductive rights, violence against women, LGBTQ rights, and the general reprogramming of most people's minds when it comes to the valuation of women in society.
This fool has become self-aware. She might be the dumbest feminazi I've ever seen. She just...
This is a satire video, right? This is satire, right? Please tell me this is satire. Swish, you need to chill, save some girls for the rest of us. She's offended by the word guys. She must hate the word menstruation. Men, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ladies, sir, yes, sir. Funny how that works. To the lady, the ability to speak. Don't make you intelligent. Qui-Gon Jinn. Feminists can't spell hero without her. Guy can't spell her without he. Feminists, all men are trash. Guys can't spell women without men. Feminists, you can't call us ladies. Guys can't spell lady without lad. Try again. Violence against women. Men who are beat or killed by their waifus aren't important and should be ignored. Oh my god. Do these people think that, like, if a woman kills a guy that she gets away with it? I would love to talk to this person. What can I do to get a conversation with this guy? I want to know what events led this guy to these opinions, okay? I want to know if he, like, how many, like, SJW feminazi destroyed compilations he watched back in 2014 to 2016. I need to know. This dude's using feminazi in 2020. Oh my god. I need to see what's in this guy's brain. I just want to talk to this guy.
Acknowledge that there are much more important issues that she could be talking about, yet she uses her platform of 1.18 million subscribers to push out this brain-dead content, and she's fully aware that she's—
Wait, why? Yeah, they have 1.18 million subscribers. You literally said earlier that nobody asked and nobody watches this shit. This is so weird, like how much how much contradiction there is in this one video alone. So first it's nobody watches this shit, to now you're spreading this to your platform of over 1 million people, to nobody asked for your history lesson and your SJW academics, to you're uneducated. It's crazy how much like blatant contradiction there is in this guy's worldview. I'm really curious to see how he copes with that. I really want to talk to him about it, like really bad. I really want to.
Doing this, it might have taken her a couple of days to do research, write a script, and edit this entire video, and not once did she stop and think that she should be talking about something.
Also, I don't think it's her channel. Now this is like a pretty big channel that seems to have a whole team of people behind it. I'm pretty sure that lady was brought in to just voice the video. Also, they literally like they talk about the history of the word guys. They talk about like the story of it and Guy Fawkes and all that shit. Like they literally did their research. You're the one who literally argued against the concept of that. Oh shit, Taco Bell. Thanks, babe. Pog. Yeah, like it's wild how much. Maybe it's projection. Yeah, it could just be projection. That might be it.
Else, something that she feels is more important to the feminist movement. People seem to get mad at me all the time when I say some of these women must have stuck their head in a microwave, because this lady's brain is chalked. She's fried.
Try walking into a room full of cisgender heterosexual men and triumphantly announce, "Hey gals, okay girls, thanks sis." I'm sure within 10 minutes, if not seconds, at least one person will correct you. We should all be as protective of our gender identities as a cisgender heterosexual man.
So without any sort of proof or even an anecdote, this feminist says that she's sure that if I walk into a room of cisgender heterosexual men and call them cis or gal, that they'll correct me. Isn't this right here sexism in and of itself? She, without any sort of proof, is telling us that this is how men would react. Isn't this—
No. You can't just argue against a straw man the whole video and then base this. You can't base your hypothetical argument that you're making right now on the straw man that I guess you can if you're like more conservative leaning. Like he's built a straw man the whole video. He hasn't acknowledged a single argument. Have you noticed that? He hasn't actually acknowledged a single one of her actual arguments. It's just been, oh, well, you're a feminazi, so you must hate men and think everything is sexist. That's been the argument he's going against, even though that's not what she's saying. Then there's the obvious contradictions that he's been making throughout the entire video. And now he's doing a hypothetical, like, oh, well, isn't that sexist if this is sexist? And now he's basing this entire hypothetical off of that. Also, I like how he brings up an anecdote as an argument against it. No, let's be real here, okay? If you walk into a group of guys and say, hey, what's going on, girls, repeatedly, you're probably going to get corrected. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. Hold on. Does anybody here genuinely believe that if you walk into a room of guys generally and call them like cis or hey girls, they're probably going to be like, okay, or like clearly uncomfortable at least if they don't correct you? Like if you do it seriously, like you would be like, hey guys, you walk in like, hey guys, hey girls. Like not as a joke, like, hey girls, but like, hey girls. Do you really think people wouldn't be made like clearly kind of weirded out by it or maybe even like correct you? I don't know. Maybe my interactions with dudes have been different.
This is the sort of behavior that feminists are trying to fight. Now, to answer the actual question, I can promise you that pretty much every guy would laugh it off or find it funny. They wouldn't get hung up on it and cry about it if someone called them a cis. I know personally, if someone misgendered me, I really wouldn't care. I wouldn't even care enough to fix them.
I challenge you.
I don't believe this. This guy's doing 2014 Gamergate talking points. The common argument that these people made back in like 2014 was, oh, I don't care if there's progressive things in video games. Why do you care? I don't care if I were to face bigotry. I don't care. Why do you guys care so much? But nowadays they fucking whine and lose their shit if there's like a gay character or a trans character in a video game or a movie. Like I'm pretty sure this dude got really mad about Captain Marvel. I guarantee this dude's gonna make a video about the new Wonder Woman movie about how it's SJW propaganda and that's why it's bad. I never believe these types of dudes. This guy's offended by this video. Is he actually going to argue he wouldn't be offended by that when he's literally mad about this very video that we're watching that is pretty fucking tame?
To take an extra 0.5 seconds to think about what comes out of your mouth before you say it.
Why don't you apply that same advice to yourself? If you did, this video wouldn't have been a thing. These feminists love to push their advice on everybody, but for some reason, they feel as if that same advice doesn't apply to them, that they're somehow above the law. If I walked up to a random...
Above the law? What? Dude, would this guy does this guy argue that feminists want to destroy his freedom of speech, and yet now he's arguing that she shouldn't say what she wants to say and express her opinion? It's so wild how contradictory these people's opinions are, where they'll lose their shit every time somebody like argues against their beliefs. Like, I'm sure he would respond my video and his response would be, why are you doing this? When am I not allowed to express my opinion? And yet his whole argument here is she shouldn't have made this video and it's bad. Where's her freedom of speech, dude?
Random person on the streets and showed them this video and told them that this lady is a feminist, and right after I asked them their opinion on feminism, I can promise you that at the very, very least, over 50% of them would say that feminism is a joke. I mean, you look like a fucking idiot when you make a 4-minute video talking about why using the word guy is bad. I honestly feel bad for the actual women who fight for women's rights by using facts and logic over feelings, because people...
Yeah, this guy's a Ben Shapiro watcher for sure. This guy's a big old... Here, hold on. I want to see. This is how we'll finish off the video, because there's not much left in it. Does this guy have his channels public? Oh, he doesn't. I'm pretty sure these are just his, like, featured channels. We can't see, like... We can't see who he's subbed to. I guarantee this guy is subbed to, like, Ben Shapiro and, like, all the anti-SJW types. Listen, guys... This is the type of content that I got into when I was like a baby reactionary, you know, when I was like 17 years old and I was like just kind of getting into it. This kind of like logic, the anti-intellectual sort of like straw manning and shoving into a box of your political opponent is what ends up resulting in you getting radicalized more further right. Because once you're able to dehumanize your political adversaries, it gets to the point where it's pretty easy for you to have the opinion that their human rights should be taken away. And that's generally what happens. Listen, if this guy wants to debate me on this, I will gladly do it. But I'm fucking starving and I want to eat some tacos, so I'm going to wrap shit up. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new and you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon so you get notifications whenever I go live. If you want to, you can also follow me on Twitter or Discord, the link in the description. If you ever want to debate me, my Discord's the best place to do it. There's a link down below. If you're a fan of this guy and you want to debate me, I will happily debate you on stream. Come, destroy the libcuck, okay? Come on and debate me. On top of that, if you have any extra money sitting around you don't need for anything else and you just don't know what to do with it, you can always support me by either subscribing or donating on the website xanderhall.com/live, or you can pledge to me on Patreon or hit join and become a member on the channel. I always appreciate it. It helps a lot. This is my job, so, you know, it's always very appreciated. Thank you so much for watching and have a good one.